Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 339. In this episode, I am going to share all about self-doubt and how you can use self-doubt to help you, what self-doubt can actually do for you, and different strategies. In the last episode, we talked about why having doubt is so important. But now, let's give you some strategies, some stuff that you can use to actually implement it, to actually make it a permanent staple in your life so that you can keep self-doubt and not feel bad about it. With that, let's get to the episode.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I am so glad you're here. Today, we are going to talk about strategies that you can use to keep your doubt around and to embrace it, as opposed to feeling smothered by it or like you need to push it away. Embracing doubt is really important. And it's kind of comforting to know that we don't have to get rid of it. Just me? Anybody else feel that way? I feel like doubt comes up all the time. I for sure have had doubt throughout my podcasting experience and throughout just starting a new business and trying to figure out all the things with Ordinary to Badass and getting used to the tech side of it. So I am very familiar with doubt. And I want to reassure you, if you are feeling doubt, it is extremely normal. Everybody experiences it. And really, it just is there to help you. And the more that we can embrace it and use it and recognize it for what it is, the better off that we will be. But also, you're a badass. Even if you experience doubt, you are a badass. And I want you to remember that. So if you are doubting yourself or feeling anxious or upset, you're still a badass. It's okay. Experiencing those things, feeling those things does not make us any less badass. Okay, let's get to the first strategy. First, when you're experiencing doubt, just recognize it as being a part of you. That's all. Like, oh, this is just a part of myself. This is just a part of me that wants to express itself. This is a way that I'm feeling right now. And just recognize it. And instead of trying to push it away from us and make it separate from us, just say, okay, this is a part of me. This is a part of me being a badass. This is a part of me being strong. This is just here to help me be a waterfall instead of a pond. If you don't get that reference, go back and listen to the last episode, because this is really a companion episode with the last one. So we want to be a waterfall, not a pond. Definitely go back and give the last episode a listen to get the importance of that. But this doubt, it is a part of us, and it doesn't make us any less strong. It doesn't make us more weak. It's just there. It's just there serving as a reminder, and it's there to help you. Okay. Number 2, when you are experiencing doubt, then say to yourself, oh, this must be something that's of value to me. This must be something that's important to me, or something that I want to be good at. When you feel insecure about something, a lot of times it's because it's something you want. It's something you're passionate about and you're excited about. So you want to be good at it. And you're just not sure if you are, but that's okay. So we can use our doubt as an indicator of something that's important to us or something that we want. And that's a good thing. So if you're around a bunch of people, like, okay, here's an example. And I think I've even talked about this on the podcast before. When I started martial arts, I had so much doubt and so much insecurity because I felt so awkward. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was looking at everybody else and how good they were and all the black belts. And I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get there. I don't know if I can do this. but I did it. I did it. And so can you. Whether it's martial arts or it's being a bird photographer or whatever your thing is. You might be around a bunch of experts and you're feeling that doubt, but that's okay. That's just saying it's something that's important to you. Because if it didn't matter, you wouldn't care. And that, I mean, there are things that I suck at. Plenty of things that I suck at, but they just don't matter because it's not important to me. And so the fact that I suck at them is cool. I'm like, okay, cool. I have no interest in that anyway. So when you're seeing the doubt pop up, reflect on it. Look at why it's important to you. And then that's a sign to keep pushing, to keep going forward. Another thing is that realize when you're experiencing doubt, it probably just means you're learning something new or you're getting out of your comfort zone. And that is an amazing thing. If you're learning something new, that means you're growing, you're expanding. And so give yourself room, give yourself grace. You would not tell a child to stop learning or, oh, you should know this, even though they're just trying something new. No, you'd be compassionate towards them. You'd be their cheerleader. You'd help them out. So as doubt pops up, be your own cheerleader. Help yourself out. Be like, you're just learning. You're new at this. Or, you know what? I'm proud of you because you're doing something you're not comfortable with. You're pushing past your comfort zone, doing hard things, and you're not giving up. You're doing it anyway. And that is so badass. Doing it even though it is hard, even though it is uncomfortable. So doubt is also a sign of your badassery. I feel like my dog is getting into something right now, so I'm gonna have to pause this. Okay, I doubted my dog. I thought he was getting into something, chewing something, because I could hear something in the other room, and I shut the door to record so you wouldn't hear the pitter patter of his paws, and walked out. He was just eating, eating his food like a good boy, and I doubted him on par for what we're talking about, right? Okay, the the last thing that you can do to recognize or a strategy you can use to cope with doubt is thinking of it as your GPS system. All it's doing is positioning you, guiding you to where you want to go. It's showing you the things that are important to you, and it's saying, hey, go this way, keep going. Even though in your head, you might hear, you suck, you're not good at this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that comes up as a way to tell you to keep going, keep doing the thing. It's just testing you. It's seeing, are you going to give up? Is it that important to you? If it's that important to you, you won't give up. But it is a sign. It is a sign that you're interested in something, that something means a lot to you. We talked about that a moment ago. So think of it as your GPS tool, as something that's getting you to your true north. It's showing you what it is you want more of in life. Listen to that nudge. Well, listen is kind of a funky term to use with it because we don't want to listen as in listen to the doubt, but listen to the underlying message. The underlying message that says, I want this. I'm scared, but I want to go for this. Cool. Do it. And lastly, I want you to hear from my friend Andy Vargo about what he does to stay positive or keep in a positive headspace.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of making lists. And so I like to make a list of, just like I make a list of what I can do, what those three things could be today. I also like to make a list of everything that's good about yourself. Everything that is, I'm a big fan of focusing on the positive. So, one of the things that I do is I will make a list of all the good choices I make during the week, for example. And if like right now I'm trying to eat better and get a little healthier, so I have a 3x5 card I keep in my pocket and I just tally Sunday. I made 10 healthy choices. Each one was a glass of water, a walk around the park, the choice to not stop walking after going halfway, little things like that. But I don't put on there all the negative choices because then I'm focusing on that negative. And so
Right.
I think when we're looking at ourselves and commanding that respect, we need to make a list of every single thing that is the good aspects that we do for other people, the things that we are talented at. If you make that list and you look at that list and come back to it, even every day of the week, if you need to read that list and be like, you know what, I am a badass person. Look at all this stuff that I rock at, because you need that affirmation. If someone else isn't giving it to you, you need to give it to yourself. And then what that allows you to do is when someone says, well, you're not X, Y, and Z, you have that confidence to say, you know what, it doesn't matter that I'm not X, Y, and Z, because I'm A, B, and C. And that's what I'm programmed to be. And that's fine. If you're looking for X, Y, and Z, then go find it somewhere else. It doesn't have to be an emotional, thing where it's just, I can't believe you're not that for me. But it's like a puzzle piece. You either fit together or you don't.
I love what Andy had to say, and I found it so powerful. Matter of fact, I kind of forgot about it. I kind of forgot about it, and something in my intuition was telling me to go back and listen. And funny enough, my subconscious must have remembered it because I recently did this. But I love how Andy said to make a list, to list things that we've done for others, to list things we're talented at, things that are good about ourselves. When you're experiencing self-doubt, it is so important to look at the good things that you've done, the things that you've accomplished. And we have a poster of power with Ordinary to Badass, right? Where you list all of the hard things that you've overcome, all of the things you've been through that did not take you down. So important. So you could do a poster of power, or you could do like Andy does. Get a 3x5 card and put it on that 3x5 card. Every time you do something good through the day, put a check mark. It can be regarding a specific goal, or it can just be in general, right? But we have all these doubts and we forget all of the good things we are doing in this world. So have a reminder. I challenge you to do this, to do a poster of power, to do a 3x5 card, to make a list like Andy was talking about of the things we do for others, of the things that we're talented at. Now, let me share with you. I told you that I recently was going through this and talked about a little bit last episode, but something else that just popped into my mind is I was thinking, oh my gosh, you suck at teaching. You are not good at teaching, whether it be like teaching things on the podcast or in social media or just in life. I was going down that rabbit hole thinking I sucked at teaching. And then it came to me, you know what? You need to make a list. Write down every time in your life that you have ever taught somebody something, every time you've ever helped somebody learn something. And then I was like, oh, wow. And it shocked me. It's like, I can't be bad at teaching. I've helped how many people pay off debt and learn how to handle their finances, make it easy for them. I've helped people learn how to be a police officer. There's several different things that I've helped people with, but until I wrote it down, I was telling myself a lie. So there's power in writing these lists, and then keep it on reserve. Keep it somewhere where you can go back to it and you can recognize it. It can be a Word doc, but you know what? I also like it somewhere where it's visual, where you have a reminder throughout the day. And it's like you just see a symbol or you see that poster of power and it's like, yes. And it re-energizes you and like reinvigorates you. So have a symbol. I think that's so important. Create a list, create a poster of power, and just have it as a symbol, something to remind you throughout your day. And you could even put one in your car on your dashboard so you see it. Like put your 3x5 card in there. All right, moving on. Some book recommendations. I mentioned in the last episode, King, A Life. That book, so stinking good. It is a very long book. I think it's over 600 pages if you're reading the actual book, 20 hours if you're listening to the Audible, but it is so interesting. It really put a lot into perspective for me. So what the Boston Globe said, I got to tell you what they said about this book. King, A Life, the book, reveals a man beset by insecurity and personal doubt, but grounded in moral conviction. You can have insecurity, you can have self-doubt, but you can still have conviction. And that book is so good, and it really shows like, man, one of the world's civil rights leaders and most popular civil rights leaders, right? And he still had insecurity and self-doubt. So crazy. But it's also reassuring. It's like, that is to be human, is to have self-doubt. No need to get rid of it. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to the last episode. Now, second book I want to recommend is Amy Cuddy, and she has a book called Presence, and it's bringing your boldest self to your biggest challenges. This book, I read it a long time ago, and it really helped me, and it just talked about all the ways that we feel this imposter syndrome. We feel like a fake, feel like we're not enough, and different things that you can do to push past that. For me, something that sticks out in my mind was like the power poses. I know you really can't see. It's like putting your hands on your hips and have your feet spread kind of wide, like at least shoulder width apart. And you look in the mirror and you do that power pose and just tell yourself, like, you are strong, you are capable. Tell yourself good things about yourself. And I used this method before. I was in an interview process and there was multiple stages to it. And so I did the first part and I blew it. I completely blew it. So you know what? I took myself to the bathroom, took my badass self to the bathroom and looked in the mirror and put my hands on my hip. And I was like, you do not let this stop you. You are a badass. You got this. You prepared for this. And I told myself all of the things that I needed to hear. And I looked in that mirror with fierce eyes and said those things. And you know what? I went out and I nailed the rest of it. I very easily could have just let that doubt or that embarrassment or shame for failing the first part or feeling like I did. I could have let that take me down. But instead, I used the principles that Amy Cuddy talks about in her book, and I used a power pose and defeated that doubt. Yeah, I had the doubt, but I pushed past it, and you can too. So check out that book, Presence by Amy Cuddy, pretty good. And the last book I'll recommend is Hello Fears by Michelle Poler. And she also has a YouTube channel. I believe it's also called Hello Fears. But she was a college student and she was afraid of everything. So she made herself a challenge. I think it was part of a school project too, to face 100 days of fear. So 100 days in a row, she had to do things that she was afraid of doing. If you're experiencing fear, you're experiencing doubt, right? So they go hand in hand. But she did some crazy things in the 100 days and it completely changed her life. So check it out. Maybe you can implement a little bit of that in your life where you're facing your doubts, you're facing your fears, realizing that you can do it. As we're winding down here, I want to remind you that even if you screw up an interview, even if you fall flat on your face and fail and do something that feels so horrible, you can still keep going. Even if you doubt your abilities or that you can do it, you can still move on. You are still a badass. Remember, maybe that was last episode, Pat Flynn talked about the real failure is not pushing past those doubts. So push past your doubts. Keep going. Use them as your GPS system. Use them as your guidance for the things that are important for you, the things you want in your life. You've got this. So just accept those doubts, bring them into your life. Okay, what are you trying to teach me? What can I learn from you? Okay, I am still a badass. You can tell yourself that. I am still a badass, even though I doubt myself. If Martin Luther King Jr. doubted himself and he still went on, you can. He was on a big level. He was in front of so many people. His challenge was life or death, right? Like speaking his moral conviction caused, and he knew in advance, like it would lead to his death. But he did it anyway because he had that conviction. So when you have doubts, you probably have conviction. When you have doubts, it's a sign of what you want more of. Listen to that. Use that. It is so powerful. I'm like, how did I not know this sooner in my life? So with that, we'll end our show. Tell the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.